Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And today, Megan, we are talking about the Tracksmith Eliot Ryder. And Eliot isn't spelled how I'd spell Elliot, and Ryder isn't how I'd spell Ryder. But I think there's a reason behind that.
All right, so this is Tracksmith's third shoe. We started out with the Eliot Runner.
It's actually the fourth shoe, because you got the trail one in there that you forgot about. Yeah, let's keep going.
So we had the Eliot Runner, which they debuted in October of 22, which we were kind of meh about. It looked good, wasn't our favorite.
Worked well for that travel shoe that had kind of like a nice style for casual, but you could still run in it. Oddly enough, there were some people out there that really liked it. We knew one of our runner friends that was like, oh, I love this shoe. But for us, it just kind of was mid.
And then we got the Eliot Racer, their race day shoe, which was a really good shoe, but we didn't love it for race day.
I think it actually plays into this one.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a little bit. And then, of course, there was the trail shoe.
Which I forgot about.
Yeah. You're not on the trails a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's get into this one. Specific use case. This is a max cushion trainer. Long runs, just kind of like soaks up the miles. It's one of Megan's favorite categories.
Yes, I love a max stack shoe. And what I love so much about Tracksmith and what they've done here is they've given us 45 millimeters of stack in the heel, but they've hidden it. So inside this shoe, you have a big old chunk.
You're going straight there? We're not going to do upper? All that stuff, you're just going straight in?
Yeah, I have to, because it's the most exciting part of this shoe. You have 25 millimeters of supercritical ATPU inside the shoe, so it's hidden, so you have all of this wonderful cushion, you just can't see it on the outside.
It's beefy. It also reminds me of like people used to put lifts in their shoes, so it does the same thing too, where it looks like you're wearing a very low profile shoe, and then you stick in that thick, chunky boy ATPU midsole, and you really do get that cushion, that stack in it. And then as long as we're doing the midsole, this is just like a regular EVA shell here, kind of creating that a stiffening agent to a certain degree, because the insole is so soft and cushy.
All right, let's bring it back up to the upper here. We'll start how we normally do, kind of. So you have a engineered woven upper here. It is very accommodating. I was actually wondering if you were gonna like the shoe as much as me, just because it is a very wide build and also like a lot of volume. So like plenty of space for your toes to spread out. Worked well for my wider foot, and it's maybe not the most breathable upper in the world, but it's very comfortable.
For me, it fit true to size at 10.5. I have been struggling and trying to figure out if I'm a 10.5 or a 10, but this one works as a 10.5. What I really liked about the first impression when we saw it at the running event was this looks a lot like a Stan Smith or something like that. This green and this cream color, beautiful, so buttery. It's got some suede overlays on here. Like Meg said, I did find it a little bit warm. We are in like this weird zone where it's not like scorching hot temperatures. It's like 70 to 77, but the humidity here has been thick. Now, you've gotten miles not only here, but you also brought this on a trip to Paris and Spain and wore it all during vacation.
Yeah.
So what was your take on the way that the upper breathes on those trips?
Yeah, so everywhere I traveled in Europe this summer was very, very hot. So every run I did in this shoe was basically very warm. Like I said, it's not the most breathable upper in the world. It wasn't like I'm not gonna wear this shoe because of the upper, but it was just something to note, like maybe not the best choice for very, very hot days. However, this is also like that perfect travel shoe because, I mean, it's such a good looking shoe that you can go out, do your run, and then lace it back up and walk around all day. Because not only is it extremely comfortable, but again, like it looks good.
The comfort is real. I can't deny you on that one. A couple of things on the upper also that I was like, iffy. You got a big green blob here in the back. You could be all right. I think this would have been a perfect spot to do a little more branding, maybe put the little embroidered rabbit on there. I don't know. It could be fun. This shoe looks like a country club shoe. I don't know how to say it other than that. Like it looks like you were going with the boys to, do some runs on the golf course or something. But other than that, nice thin tongue, padded in the right spots. Overall, fit was good. Meg was concerned that I was going to think that this was too wide. It was fine. I didn't have any issues with it. But really the star of the show is the cushioning. And Megan brought up the race day shoe from a while back. And a lot of us like the race day shoe as a daily trainer. And I think that maybe they heard that or felt that, or maybe in their own team they felt like, hey, the shoe isn't maybe the fastest race day shoe, but it sure is comfortable. What if we kind of took the elements of it and turned this into a really nice mileage gobbler?
Yeah, that's essentially what this shoe is. It does have a little bit of a rocker. It's just like Thomas was saying, a very bouncy, comfortable ride. So this is perfect for those long runs, maybe not with marathon pace in them, but just like those easy long runs. I'm talking like 20 miles plus. This shoe is going to feel comfortable from start to finish, and yeah, can just recovery day, easy days.
That's what I used it for. Yesterday I did a recovery run, a little 12-mile recovery run, and this shoe is the one I put on my feet. It does offer that comfort. It does offer that kindness to your legs. So I really appreciated that. I will say though, Meg, we didn't even talk about a real gum sole bottom.
Yeah. So you can see here we have this pattern, like full cover rubber here that, I mean, it works really well. Traction was good. I think durability wise.
I don't know how you're going to kill this shoe.
Yeah.
Like you've got the full rubber here. You've got this EVA that's protecting down here and kind of creating that stability in the shoe. And this is a really stable shoe for max cushion shoe. But the insert inside, I don't know, at one point I think even Tracksmith talked about maybe selling replacement insoles. So like you could really take this shoe for a long way. There's nothing on this shoe that looks like it's built for like turnaround trash. It looks like it'll hold up. And there's different ways that companies do environmentally sound product. And this one being one that I don't think you're gonna kill and has a classic look. I think it will last a long time. Did we even talk about the stack, the 45?
I think I mentioned it in the beginning, but it is 45 millimeters in the heel, 37.5 in the forefoot, so 7.5 millimeter drop.
And a lot of that is that insert. So you can't see it on the outsole. The other thing I thought was interesting, while everybody else is flaring out the heel a little bit, this one has this like curved in heel. I'm not much of a heel striker, so it didn't really affect me. Did you feel anything different with that?
No, the ride felt like a very smooth, normal daily trainer ride, so no issues there. The other couple of things we didn't talk about, one is the weight. So not the lightest shoe in the world. It is a max cushion shoe. My women's 7.5 came in at 8.6 ounces or 243 grams.
And mine came in at 10.4 or 295 grams. But with this much rubber on the bottom and the EVA and a well-layered upper, it's going to be a little bit on the heavier side. And it's not built for like speed. So I don't think it really matters. But it's still under 11 ounces. And we've seen some of the shoes that we've reviewed and liked in the max cushion category going over 11. So I thought this was a pretty fair weight.
Yeah. And then finally, by the time this review comes out, the shoe will be available July 15th, and it's going to come in at $220.
I'm mixed on this one. $220 is a lot for this shoe. The durability and the how long I think the shoe is going to last, I think kind of mitigates some of that. Plus, it's also that Tracksmith.
I was going to say, Tracksmith's premium brand, so I think it's kind of what we expect. Their clothing lasts forever. It's also can be quite expensive. So, I mean, for me,
actually, it's not. If
not
you think
now
about
anymore.
It used to be one of the more expensive apparel brands. Now I feel like it's like mid-tier expensive, and the same thing with the shoe. But this is definitely a shoe somebody's going for specifically to have that Tracksmith vibe.
Yeah.
And of the Tracksmith shoes, this one is definitely the most usable and runnable. I felt like the race day shoe is really nice, but how often are you lacing up a plated race day shoe? This one you could use as a daily trainer if you wanted. In the amount of shoes that we test and stuff, this turns out to be more of a recovery shoe.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our scoring, starting with design. Thomas, what are you giving it?
Okay, I was in between a B and an A on here, and the reasons I would knock it down from an A would be it's a little bit warm. I felt like the back end here didn't quite seem completely finished for me, and then the weight comes into the play in there, and the design, it's a little bit on the heavier side. But then looking at it as a whole unit, I was like, I'd still probably give it an A. It just looks nice. I love the suede overlays. Like, looks and style, I'd give it an A. And then the cushioning and the way that they do the cushioning, I also think is unique to the brand and would also give it an A. We are starting to kind of see this, though, in some of the on shoes where they have a layer of either an ATPU or TPEE over top of a firmer layer to kind of get that stability. This one works, so in the long way of saying it, I'll give it an A.
I'm going to give design an S. Haven't thrown an S out there in a while. I just think that this shoe is so unique and it's beautiful, and I love that you have so much stack, but it's not necessarily in your face, like you can't see it. So I'm in love with this design overall, so it's getting an S for me.
All right, now value, Meg, $220.
Value, I'm going to go with a B just because this is just such a competitive space, and $220 is on the pricier side. I will defend it though by saying, like we mentioned earlier, like I think you're just going to get so many miles out of this shoe, and it's one of the more fun shoes to run in.
And I think it will patina well.
Yeah.
Like as you put some miles on it and it gets some character, it's going to look nice. But for me, the value is also a B. Meg kind of alluded to it. There's a lot in this category. You can get a similar feeling ride from some shoes that are maybe $40 less. So that kind of has to play into it for me. Again, if you're buying this shoe, you're probably buying it because you enjoy Tracksmith and the whole romance behind running kind of feeling and design. So I think B is fair.
All right, and then performance. What are you giving it?
It does what it's supposed to do. It feels great as a recovery shoe. Feels great as, like, I think you could use this for most of your miles, your daily training and recovery miles. Obviously, on some of your runs where you want to pick up the pace, you're going to switch into a different shoe. But overall, performance, I'll give it an A.
Yeah, I'm also going to give this an A. Like Thomas was saying, this does exactly what a max cushion shoe should. It's really comfortable. It feels great for long runs, easy runs, recovery runs. It's just a very comfortable, very plush feeling shoe. So I'm giving it an A.
All right, so Meg, that comes down to overall scores. You give it an S, a B, and an A.
Overall, I'm giving it an A.
All right, I'm also going to give it an A. Again, it's right on that edge. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here between the B and the A, but I'm going to go A on the shoe, mostly because it does what it says and it's stylish.
Yeah. So that's a green light. This is by far my favorite shoe, I think, from Tracksmith so far, especially for the first max cushion shoe. I think sometimes we see brands that are just starting to bring shoes into the world. The first iteration isn't always the best, but I think this is a really, really good max cushion shoe.
I believe this is the evolution of Tracksmith. If you took the Eliot Runner and the Eliot Racer and you smashed them together and what they learned from both those shoes, this is what you get. And where each of those shoes kind of had a knock against it, in this and the application, I don't think you can really knock this shoe. I think this is probably what I would consider the first Tracksmith shoe that I'm like, okay, it's the right shoe for the right job, and does it
well, and it looks good doing it.
Thanks for finishing that for me because I got stuck. All right, so that wraps this up, Meg. Anything else you want to say about the shoe?
No, this one will definitely stay in my shoe rotation, so I really like it. Yeah.
I will default to Meg on Max Cushion. She is the most adamant about Max Cushion here at Believe in the Run, so I would take her word for it. And if you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. You can check us out. We've got podcasts on the BITR Networks channel, sister channel here on YouTube. You can check that out. Meg, anything else they should check out?
If you're not, go follow us on Instagram. That's where we're posting all of the latest shoes we're getting into review. And yeah, if you prefer your reviews in written form, you can go to believeintherun.com, check them all out there. And while you're there, go ahead and subscribe to our newsletter, The Drop, which goes out every Friday. And it gives you a breakdown of everything we've reviewed that week.
Perfect. Let's get out of here.